Hello guys, welcome to my this video, and in this Angular tutorial I will show you how you can make this type of vertical slider. And here you can see this is the testimonial slider, but after using this functionality you can make any kind of slider. So here I have written all the code is custom code, and here I will try to explain very easy way. So after watching this video you can make this type of custom slider, and I hope you will be enjoyed this video. So if you find this video is helpful, so don't forget to like this video and subscribe and press the notification bell icon to get more updates. So first of all guys, I will show you the preview. So here you can see the preview and next button. So when I will click this preview button, so here you can see it's sliding, and after end this slider, so here you can see there are the three sliders. So after end this slider, if I click this preview button again, so it's happened nothing. And the same way if I click this next button, so you can see it's sliding, and after end the slider it's happened nothing. So now to show the slider, I will open my Visual Studio Code Editor first of all. So guys, here you can see now I have opened app component HTML file and app component CSS and app component TS file. Okay, so guys, for less of this time, here you can see I have created an array. The array name is slide array, and here I have added some object. Okay, so these are the slide actually. So when I was showing the preview, so there was a three slider. So here you can see I have passed the three object. Okay, so these three object I will bind in HTML property, and that will be slide actually. Okay, so here you can see I have added the image property and the image path and the name, date and the content. So all this thing I will bind in HTML property, and that will be shown as a slider. So for that guys, here I have to be write that is deep class, and the class name here I will write bg color. So class name, id name, variable name you can write as per your choice. And why I have written this bg color, because I want to add some background gradient color in whole of this page. So that's why this bg color. Here I will write some css. So here I will write the css property. Okay, so now guys, first of all here I will write background image. So guys, if you are thinking that is I will add background color, but I have added here background image. So guys, here I want to clear you one thing, that is when we want to add the linear gradient color, so that time we write background image. So the background image and the gradient color, that is linear gradient. And now here I will write to right, that means this gradient color will start from right to left. So now here I will write the color code will be RGB. So R is the red short, so a full form of R is red, G is green and B is blue. So red, green, blue. So all the color code I have to be write for red and green, blue. So 54, first of all this is for red, and 28 this is for green, and 28 this is for blue, and now comma and hashtag 222. okay, and now here I will write position fixed, because guys this color I want to add whole of this page. So here I am not using this color inside this body tag, because body tag means whole of this page, but here I am using this color in a class. So that's why here I have to be write position fixed, and width is 100%, because I already said I want to add this color whole of the body. So width is 100%, and height is also 100%. And when we write position fixed, position absolute, so that time we are to set from where this element will start. So I want to start this background color from this top and left. So here I will write top is 0 and the left is also 0. So that means it will add the background color in whole of this page. Here you can see now. Okay, I hope you have understand. So now the another CSS class, here I will write main. So deep class is main. So the slider, when I was showing the preview, so you can see the slider that was in the middle. So here I have added the class main. So here I will write some CSS property, so that will help to bring the slider in middle. So here I will write also position fixed, and now here I will write that is top is 50%, because now that time this dip will bring the slider in middle, so that's why top 50%. That means it will the dip, this dip will comes from top 50%, that means it will in the middle, and same way it will start from left 50%, that means it will fall off the middle. Okay, so left also 50%. And now here I will add the another CSS property, transform translate, so that it will make your CSS very strongly. I mean, if I write transform translate minus 50% and minus 50%, that means it will be the top, from top and bottom minus 50%, and also from left and right minus 50%. That means it's the same like top and left. So but here if we write transform translate, so that means this CSS property top and left, it will make strongly this transform translate. Okay, and now guys here I will write the another CSS, that is deep class main. And now here not a main, actually here I will write the another class, that is box. Okay, and now inside this box I will write some CSS, so box, and here I will write position relative, and the next CSS, that is border. I want to add a border color, that is 2 pixels solid, and the color code is RGB, and here I will write the color code for R, G and B, so 233,5,5. so now here you can see it's added a red color. Okay, and now height, because when I was showing the preview, so that time there was the white color box, and that actually height 200 pixel. So now, sorry, not a 220 pixel. And now here I will write the width is 700 pixel, and now the border radius is 4 pixel, and here I will add the background color, that is white. So white color code is FFF. Okay, and now here I will write the another CSS, that is overflow hidden. So why I am writing this overflow hidden, so that I will explain in next also. So but before that, here I will write the another CSS, that is after, because inside this white color box I think you have noticed there was the red color cycle in top right corner. Okay, so this after tag will make this round element. So now when we write the after, so that time it's we are to write the content. This is very important. If we don't write content, so this after will not be worked. So that's why we have to write content, and position absolute, because after and before always it's a floated maximum time. So and I want to make it this tip, this after floated, so that's why position absolute. And where I want to float in this box, so that is position relative. So when first of all I am writing the CSS, and then I will show you the preview, so so it will take less of time. Okay, so when I will show you the preview, so that time I will explain what is happened actually, so it will be more clear to you. So position absolute, and now top minus 50 pixel, and here I will write left is also minus 50 pixel, and now this dip I will make it round. So for that, here I have to be set height is 100 pixel and width is 100 pixel, and now here I will write border radius. So border radius is 50%. So when the height and width is the same of an element, so that time if I write border radius 50%, so that means that element will be round. Okay, so border radius 50%, and I said this div is floated, so that's why I have written position absolute. So when we write position absolute, or when we want to make any div floated, so that time another CSS property, that is z index, is very important, because z index denotes, I mean, this d element how much will be floated. So if we set 1000, so this div will float 1000 from the previous dip, or if I set 1, so this div will float from 1 from the previous div. Previous div means guys here that is this box, and inside this box here I have added this after that means here on this box div it will be add a round element, so that round element will float it up to 1% from this box div. So when I will show the preview, so it will be more clear, I'm saying again. And now here I will write the another, that is div id slide, and here this is very important div because this slide div actually move when I will click the next and preview button, so this slide div will be moved. Okay, so slide, and so when I will move this slide div, so that time we cannot directly move this slide div because in JavaScript and jQuery we can manipulate the DOM using a ID. Like suppose I want to change the background color of this element, so in JavaScript and jQuery we can write document.getElement by ID, and the ID is slide and dot style dot background color, and we can add the color, so that time it will be change the background color of this div. But in Angular we cannot write like this way. So Angular provide a template defines variable. So the syntax of template defines variable is hashtag and the variable name. Okay, so this variable will use to manipulate the DOM property. It's the same like ID, but in Angular we are to write like this way, and this is called template defines variable. So when I will use view child in TS file, that I will show you the next. So that time if I manipulate this DOM, so that time I will use this template defines variable, not this ID, because in Angular it provide this template defines variable for manipulate this DOM, I mean this element. So now here, but before that here I will complete all the CSS. So now for that, so I will copy this slide div and here I will add some CSS. So this slide div, it's an ID, so here I will write hashtag and slide div because this is an ID, so hashtag denotes ID. Okay, and class denotes dot. So all the classes when I was defining CSS, so you can see I had written the dot, you can see here, but if for the ID I have written hashtag. And the same thing I had told you, that is this template defines variable, it's similar like ID, so you can see also it's a similar like ID. So that time when I define the template defines variable, so the syntax is also hashtag. Okay, so now here this div will be moved when I will click preview and next button, so that means this div will be also floated. So when we make any div floated, so that time we write position absolute, and this div will start from top. So top is 0, and also left is 0, and width is 100%, and transition I will add, because when I will move this slide div, when I will click next and preview button, so I want to move it very smoothly, so that's why I have added the transition. Transition is 0.4 s is for second. Okay, so 0.4 second it will be moved by transition 0.4 second. And now guys, here I will add the another class, that is cart, and now inside this cards class I have to be write the CSS. So here I will paste this cart class and this one class, so you can see here I have used the dot. Okay, and now here I will add padding. So padding is 20 pixels. So guys, what is the use of padding? So padding adds some space inside an element. So this inside this card element, if I want to add space, so that time I will write padding, that I have already written. And if I want to add space outside this card class, so that time I will write margin. Okay, but here I have added padding because I want to add space inside this card class. And now I will set the height of this card class, that is 200 pixel. Okay, and now here I will add another, that is class profile, because inside this profile class I will show all the image of this user, because I am making this as testimonial slider. So there will be the profile, I mean who is reviewed, so that's profile image I will show in this profile class. Okay, so now here I will write image and source equals to, and here I will write alter tag. So alter, here I will write image. So alter tag used for SEO purpose actually, because guys, suppose this there is the blank image like right now. So right now it's a blank. Okay, so when it will be the blank image, so that time here just image alter tag name will be shown in the preview. Okay, so that time the developer can understand or user can understand that is the image is blank. And here I have set the all the images inside this array, so that array I will bind. Okay, so in the next I will also bind this array. So guys, suppose there is the all the object is statically I have defined, but it may comes from API, and when any data comes from API, so that we received in a array format or object format. So suppose this is comes from API, but I don't have an API right now, so that array object I have maintained statically. But suppose if it comes from API, so it would comes like same way. Okay, so that time suppose the image is missing in a API, so that time this alter tag will help. So suppose image is missing, so that time the name of this alter tag, whatever you will pass inside this alter tag, so that name will show in the browser. Okay, and now here first of all I will write the image is blank, because I will bind this image from this array, so that I will bind it next. But before that I will write all the CSS. Okay, so now here I will add some CSS inside this profile class. So profile, and now here I will set width is 100 pixel of this profile div, and height is also I will set 100 pixel. And now here I will write the display inline block, because guys, when this profile class, and beside this profile here I had added the name and date. If you shown the preview, whatever I had shown in the first of all, so I mean before this video, so the preview there was the image of the user, and beside this image there was the name and date. So this is the profile class, so that if I would write it's a display block, so I cannot bring any other div beside this profile. So that's why I have added its display inline block. And now I will write the another div, so that is div class. This div class is name, and here I will write inside this h2 tag that will be name. So first of all I will write it blank, because this name will comes from this array, so I will bind it later. Okay, so h2 tag and p tag, inside this p tag I will bind this date. Okay, so this name class, I mean here it will be the name and date, so that will be beside this profile div, I mean this profile div. So that's why this profile div will be display inline block, and that name div will be display inline block, because when we want to bring any more than one div beside another div, so that time we write it display inline block. We cannot block the div. If I would block this profile div, so that time I cannot bring this name div inside this profile beside this profile div. Okay, so that's why I have added this profile div is display inline block, and the same way this name div I have to be added also a inline block. So here I will write this name, and this same thing I will write that is display inline block. Okay, and here I had said the width is 100 pixel, so remaining 100 pixel all the width I will set in this name class. So here I will set width like different ways. So width I will write the calculation. Okay, so I will calculate the width of this name div, so 100% minus this 100 pixel. Okay, so that means remaining 100 pixel, because I have set the width of this profile 100 pixel. So remaining 100 pixel I have set using this calculation. 100% minus 100 pixel will be the width of this name class. Okay, but here profile and name div inside, I mean beside this profile and name div, here I want to add some space. So for that we cannot set the remaining 100 pixel. Okay, that means it will start from two, I mean together, it will not add space. So that's why here I have to be at 130 pixel. And now here just I will add margin left, so that means it will add a space. So margin left is 18 pixel. And guys, here both these classes I will add the another CSS property that is very important, vertical align and middle. So that means suppose there is the profile image, height is also 100 pixel, but this is you can see I have defined the height is 100 pixel, but in this name div here I have added h2 and p tag. So guys, this name div's content may not be 100 pixel on height, so that time it will be in a middle. So that's why I have written here the vertical align is middle here, and also vertical align is middle here. Okay, so now here I will add some CSS for this image h2 tag and p tag. So first of all I will add some CSS for this image. Okay, so now here just below this profile class, here I will write profile image, because this image inside this profile, so that's why profile image. And now here I will write the CSS property that is with 100 pixel, height is 100 pixel, and here I will write the another CSS property that is border radius. So border radius is 50%, because I want to make this div in round, so that's why border radius is 50%. And now the object fit and object fit is covered, that means the image will be covered in whole of the div. Whole of the div means this profile div, and inside this profile div there is the image, so that image will be in cover of this profile div. Okay, and now here I will write border. So border is 1 pixel solid, and border color is this one. And now padding is, I told you when we want to add some space inside the element, so that time we write padding. So here I will write the padding is 4 pixel. And now okay, so that's done. Okay, and now I will copy this name and h2 tag, and I will copy this similar thing and just I will paste and just change. I will, instead of h2 I will write p tag, and here I will write some CSS of this h2 and p tag. So this name and h2 and p tag, because I want to add some CSS for this h2 tag and p tag. So and this h2 and p tag inside this name class. Okay, so now here I will write font size is 20 pixel, and position is relative. And I will copy this same thing, and here I will write the after, because this name there was the underline when I was showing the preview, so that's why this you can write after and before tag. So now when we write after or before tag, so that time we write content, and content is blank. And here I will write position is absolute, and height of this line will be 2 pixel, and width of this line will be 30 pixel. And now so this line also you can design as per your choice. And now here I will write the background color of this line, so the color is RGB, and this color. Okay, so here this color, so this red color I want to add this line. And now here I will write left, so this line will start from left, so left 0, and this line will be a bottom minus 8 pixel. Okay, so this is done. And now here I will add some CSS for this p tag. So here is the p, and here I will write first of all this margin, because this p tag will comes from will be the below of this h2 tag, so it will margin top from 20 pixel. And now here I will write that is color. So color of this ptag will be RGB, and here just I will add some grayish color. So 68, color code is 68, 68 and 68. And now here line height is 20 pixel, and font size is 14 pixel. And now this is also done, so everything is done. Okay, so now here just I will bind this array. So this array variable I want to bind, so the syntax is, and here I want to make this cart as a loop. So here just I will bind, so star ng for equals to and inverted comma, and inside this inverted comma, first of all here I have to define a variable. So let, so we know guys, let is the keyword for defining a variable. So let, and the variable name here I will write slide of, and this variable, so I will copy this variable and paste here. That means all the value of this slide array variable now I store inside this slide variable. Okay, so now if I use this slide variable for binding all the image name, date and content property, so I can use that. So now how I can bind? Just using a curly braces. Okay, so that's called interpolation. So using a curly braces I can bind all the object properties. So now I will copy this slide variable and just I will paste here. So inside this image tag I want to bind this image, so I will write the property name, so dot image. And now here I want to bind this, here I will go and this name property. So now here slide, I mean this variable dot name, and again I will copy, and here this date I want to bind this date. Okay, so now guys here I do miss one thing, that is I forgot to write the content. Okay, so this content, so here just profile div, name div, and below this name div here I will write div class content. So inside this content div p tag, and here I will bind all the content. Okay, so now here curly braces, and the same thing this slide dot, and I want to bind this content property, so dot content. And now here I will add some css of this content class. So here this content, and here I will not write any css of this content class, just I will define any define a css of this p tag. So here p tag, and now here I will write margin top is 20 pixel, and color of this content I will write the same color whatever I have written here, so the same color I will write here. And line height is 20 pixel, and also font size is 14 pixel. Okay, it's a done. And now guys this everything is done. So now here I have to be write a button, so that means when I'll click this preview and next button, so that will slide will be happen. So for that I have to be write the button. So that button I will just create inside this main tag. So just here I will add my cursor, and here I will write button type is button, and just here I will write the button name is first of all preview. Okay, so preview, and here I will add the class, the class name is buttons. So just I will copy this same thing button, and here I will change the name of this button is next, and class will be the same and type will be the same. So now I will add some css of this button tag. So here dot button, and here I will add some css. So the first css property will be background color, so background RGB, and the color will be 255 and 255. So it's a white color. And now here I will add border. So border is 1 pixel solid, and the border color will be, I will add, that is the color code is DF and 0505. okay, so this red color border. And now the color I will add the same color code whatever I have added in border, so the same color code. okay, and now the next CSS property I will write, that is font size. So font size is a 16 pixel, and now margin right is 8 pixel, and font weight is 600, and outline is none. And now here I will write margin top. So margin top is 14 pixel, and cursor is pointer. That means when I will bring my mouse cursor on this button, so that will be the hand sign, so that is cursor pointer. And letter spacing, that means this letter will be at some space, like here, like this way. So that's why it's a letter spacing CSS property. okay, so letter spacing I will add some space, and the space will be 0.2 pixel. okay, and now here border radius, because I want to make this button border round, so border radius is 2 pixel. And transition, so because I want to add some hover effect on this button, so when I will add the hover effect, so it will be transition, that is 0.2 s 0. That means 0.2 second, and is in out. So that means when I will hover, so that, and when I will hover out, so the same transition will be happen. So that's why it's a is in out. And now here I will add the hover effect. So I will copy this button class, and here I will write hover. So that means when I will bring my cursor on this button, so that means whatever I want to add. So that is, first of all I want to change the background color. So background color will be transparent, and now the color will be white, and border will be also a change, so 1 pixel solid, and the border color will be white. So that is done. okay, so now here you can see it's a done. And here I will save this also. So now you can see it's a done. So now the design part is already done. So now here I have to write the functionality. That means when just I will click this preview button and next button, so it will be slide. So for that guys, here when I will click this preview and next button, so here I have to be write the click method. So click, and the method name you can write anything. Here I will write the method name is preview, and just I will copy this method name from here, and I will paste here, and this method name I will write here next. And now I will copy this method from here, and in this TS file, so I will bring this TS file here because I don't need CSS file, already done all the CSS. So now I will copy this method name here, and next this method I will copy, and just here I will paste. okay, and now here I have to be write the CSS. So the CSS is, first of all, when I will click this button, so that time the movement will be this slide div only. So that slide div I will move. I mean, when I will click this preview button, so that slide div will be slide. So for that, here that means I have to be manipulate this slide div. So first of all, here I want to show you, that is here I will save also. So that's why it was showing error. So now error is removed. So now if I inspect, and whatever I want to add in this functionality, so that I will show. So that is, I want to move this slide div. So that slide div is here. okay, so that I want to move. So that means here I have to be manipulate the DOM property of slide div. That means when I will click this preview button, so this slide div, the top CSS property I have to be changed. So the top CSS property, suppose here you can see I'm changing this top CSS property. So if I this top CSS property in 200, here you can see in the inspect. So if I set this to property, so that means the next content will be show. And again if I set this top CSS property, so you can see the third content it's coming. So if I change this CSS property is like 400 minus 400, so here you can see the third one is coming. So just I have to be change this slide CSS property, that is top. So how I can do that? So that's why here I have already written a template defines variable slide. So this using this template defines variable, I have to be change the CSS property of this slide div. So directly I cannot use this template defines variable also. So for that, here just I have to be import the view child. So view child, and now I will copy this view child method and just here @view child. So this is the syntax. So guys, this is the syntax for using a view child. So now here I will write parenthesis, and here I will write that is this this template defines variable. So this one, and again this, now I have defined it inside this view child, this template defines variable. So now I can manipulate this DOM element, I mean element of the DOM of this element, but directly I cannot use this slide property again also. So here I have to be add a reference variable that will refer this slide template defines variable. So the variable name you can write here anything, but just here you have to be write this template defines variable, and whatever variable I will write here, so that will be refer this slide variable. So here I will write the variable name is slide, but you can write anything, and just here I have to be set the type. So I had set the type is any. Okay, and now here I will write the another variable that is j, and the j equals to here I will write j equals to this dot slide array dot length minus 1. So why I have written this one, so I will that explain, because when I will click this preview or next button, so the slide will be happen first of all this object and this object. That means the slide will be happen up to this length, and this length means this slide dot array length. So this slide dot array length, so that I have stored inside this j variable. Okay, and here I have written -1 because this slider array, that means this array's length, that means up to there, I mean up to last. But when it will come the last object, so now after that if I click this slide button, so it will be the blank because it will come the last again here. So here is no data, so it will be the blank. Okay, so that's why when it will come the last object, so this is slide array dot length, and from this last object I have written the -1. So that means when it will comes the last object, so that time if it comes the last object, so it will not slide again. So that's why this dot array dot length dot -1, because if I would write this dot slide array dot length, so that means if it come when the last array object, so after that if I would click the preview button or next button, so it will slide and it's shown blank, because that after the length it's no object. Okay, so that is, I hope you have understand what I'm trying to explain. And now here I will write the another variable that is I, and I first of all I will set equals to 0, so that will be the height. Okay, so height means here I have set the height is in this class, that is this class I have set the height is 200. Okay, so there's, I mean first of all this div is 200. So when I will move this div 200, so that means, I mean when it, you can see here when I was changing this div, first of all -200 -400, so it was showing the content one by one. So first of all the I will be 0, and after that I will change the value of I -200 -400 like this way. So now here I will write the condition. So if if now this dot this j variable where I define the array dot length, so when the this one will not equals to 0, so that means when this array dot length will not be 0, I mean it's when it will not comes up to length means up to last, I mean 1 2 3, so length is 3 now. So when I will click this preview button, so slide will be vertically from in a top, so that means it will when I will click this preview button, so the slide will comes from here. So first of all 3 2 1, so when here it will not be 0, so that time it will be slided, so that is this dot j will be minus minus. And now here I will write that this dot I equals to this dot I minus 200, so this dot I is minus 200, so that means here I was showing, so this slide stop property if I set here, that is minus 200 pixel, so when I will add this pixel, so you can see the slide will be changed to the next, you can see next, so that means first of all I is 0, and after that i's value is this minus 200 because 0 because this dot I, so I is 0 minus 200, that means minus 200, so this i's value now I will write in this slide property, so I mean now I will manipulate the DOM, so this dot slide dot native element. So when we write the view child, so we cannot write this dot slide dot style, first of all we have to write this dot slide, that means this variable dot native element dot style dot now top, because here I want to set the top, I want to change this top property, so top and equals to, now here I will set the value of this I, so now here I will write that is this dot I plus equals to pixel. Okay, it's a done. So now if I save and if I check, so first of all I will remove this one, and if I check, so you can see it's sliding and sliding up to the length minus 1. So because here I define inside a condition when j not equals to 0, j I have defined this length minus 1, so that means when it comes like the last one, so if I click this preview button, so it's happened nothing. But if I would write here only length, so now you will find what will be happen, that is if I click the preview button, so you can see when after it will come the length, so if I click this again, so you can see it's showing the blank because it's length and after that it's slide again, so that's why it will be slide length minus 1. So I hope here you have understand. And now for this next button, just same thing I will copy from here and just paste, but here just I have to be changed. So when this one is this one is the third preview button, so it preview button means first of all it was showing the first object, and so when I was clicking the preview button, so it was showing this from the last. Okay, so but when I will click this next button, so it will have to be set when it will not comes up to length minus 1, so that time it will be just slided. So this dot length minus 1, so here I will write j plus plus because it will comes when I will click the next button, so it will comes from here top to bottom, so that means j plus plus, and here the same way I have to be write plus 200 because again if I refresh and if I show here, that is if I write this in this slide property, suppose if I set this when it will be the minus 200, I mean if I click this slide in first of all preview button, so it will be the minus 200, and same way when it will I will click this next button, that time I have to be comes the first slider, so it will be the plus 200. Okay, like this way. So here I have to write plus 200, and now this one is will be the same. So now if I save and I will close this one, so now if I click this preview button, so you can see it's sliding, and if I click this next button, so when it will not come up to top, so you can see I can slide, but when it will become top, so if I click, so you can see it's not happening anything. Okay, so this way you can make this custom vertical slider. And this one I have made this testimonial slider, but you can make it any kind of slider, but the functionality will be the same. And hope guys you have enjoyed this video, and if you find this video is helpful, so don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and press the notification bell icon to get more update.